And talking of the papers, let's begin right away this morning on Breakfast Central on a Tuesday, 26th day in the month of April 2022. We're starting off in Nigeria, and of course, it's the first, and that's why it definitely will take the reins. We're starting off with first news. That's our first paper for a Tuesday morning. And one thing strikes me on the first news. Well, I'm sure you can see it. It's Nnamdi Kanu rejects secret trial, sues federal government. That story there at the top. All right, Nnamdi Kanu rejects secret trial, sues federal government. That's a story. Another one says, I'll betray Nigerians if I fail to contest. Osibajo speaks. VP visits Ondo to seek Akeredolu support. APC begins sale of nomination forms. Don't forget it goes for 100 million naira. Party justifies 100 million naira cost of forms for president. Okay. Peter Obi, Osibajo, Nigerians' most preferred presidential aspirants, according to reports. So that's the latest report, and everyone's saying they prefer these two. Well, the report says that in a way. Anyway, this one, DKO delivering PAPs, that's PAP's mandate with little resources, says Silver. Twitter set to sell company to Elon Musk for $44 billion. Well, I'd say they've sold it already. It's done. Well, let's move to another story now. Gunmen invade Owerri, Imo State capital. You might wonder what's happening in the east, the southeast as well. Well, Ukraine, Zelensky thanks US for arms support, urges sanction for Russia. You can get so many more when you pick up the paper. The first news, that's exactly what you will get. So make sure you go get it and read up. Let's move on to the next paper this morning, and let's check out what we have. Definitely, we're going to South Africa. So away from Nigeria, it's South Africa, and we are taking Sowetan. This one here says, wheels of justice turned for Senzo. Courts eye firmly on the ball amid sideshow as long-awaited murder trial of slain Bafana captain finally kicks off. If you took notes, we also had this on our top stories headlines, and we'll take this story definitely later on today. Well, wheels of justice turned for Senzo. Courts eye firmly on the ball, it says, and that's exactly what is ongoing there. Well, let's take more stories at the top there. Crusader for young blood slain, page 3. Crusader for young blood slain, page 3. Downs look to wipe their tears. That's one you could also get to enjoy when you pick up the paper. That's Sowetan. But that's all we'll take for the Sowetan. On the front page there, you can see the pictures, and you can see the accused. There you have them in court. Of course, some of their faces covered all up, while others are indeed watching and looking to see what will happen. And then you've got Sergeant Thabo Musia. Here's the man there at the front page, looking all stern and ready for action today. All eyes on the ball, as they say. The verdict will wait for today. Let's move on to the next paper. This morning on Breakfast Central, very quickly, we're going back to Nigeria. It's got to do with Blueprint. That's what we're taking. And on the Blueprint, we have U.S. pledges support as Nigeria ranks highest globally. U.S. pledges support as Nigeria ranks highest globally. And what does Nigeria rank highest globally in? Well, World Malaria Day. Yes, that's the story. That's the story. That is the story. World Malaria Day. Well, U.S. indeed pledges support as Nigeria ranks highest globally. Well, loses 200,000 lives, spends 646 billion naira annually to tackle scourge. Nigeria, DR Congo, Tanzania, Mozambique account for half of global deaths, according to World Health Organization. We spent 850 million on anti-malaria commodities in 2021. That's an update. Well, let's go to the top. Back to some political stories as well. 2023, Northern PDP stakeholders reject Saraki Bala as consensus candidates. That's a story you might want to read. It's on page 5. Kyari, NDLEA nabs billionaire in tramadol deal. Remember that deal? Remember that video? Well, NDLEA says they've nabbed the billionaire involved in that business transaction with Kyari and his team. Nigeria's fiscal deficit hits 2.23 trillion in Q4 of 2021. That's page 23. Casualties in Imo illegal refinery fire rise to 110. As of this morning, we were indeed saying it's a 100 because that's the figure that we got. But this morning, while we take a look at the papers, it says 110. quite sad situation, quite a sad one. Well, let's go to the top quickly. Leaf cooker out of weapon delivery delay, according to NEF to presidency. So the NEF says, you know what? That's the Northern Elders Forum. They say, listen, President, listen. Leave cooker out of weapon delivery delay. Do not bring him in. That's what the Northern Elders Forum is indeed saying. Well, let's leave that now. Let's go to another paper as we look to bring this to a wrap. And that's got to do with the Citizen. That's what we're going to, and we're talking about Tanzania. Now, the Citizen has on the front page there, well, quite a very, very interesting story that you may be wondering what in the world is going on. Experts, why $120 million ruby is grossly overvalued. Why 120 million ruby is grossly overvalued. As debate on the origin of the ruby rages, especially says the sellers will be lucky to get $1,200 for the stone, let alone the $120 million value placed on it by its current owner. Page 2 has that story. 15 billion shilling project set to vastly improve service at cancer hospital. That story. Parliament mourns death of special seats MP. I guess that is indeed some story that you might want to check out. Union issues under scrutiny as merger clocks 58, and another one, ground handling players call for fair competition. Well, these are some of the stories that we can take here this morning on Breakfast Central, taking a look at the papers.